This is Lola, a hard-working woman from Los Angeles, and a wine company executive on her left is Hamish, Lola's friend, who suggests her to go to Sydney and set up a contract with a famous wine distributor called Hazel Vaughn. He also reveals that Vaughn Wines does not have an importer in United States. Hamish was going to put all his restaurants just if she could make the deal possible. Next day, she was more than ready to go to Sydney. Inside their office, she meets her colleague and have a little chit-chat with her until her rude boss comes to her and praise her work, as compared to any other person in the office. He leaves after reminding of her next assignment. She reveals to her friend about Vaughn Wines when she insists to tell her about it. Same night, she comes to her father's house for the dinner. This is Carlos. Her father, John, and Diana are his friends even. They begin to ask her about her love life and reveals that she had divorced 2 years ago after dinner. Carlos suggests her to start a new love life, since she put a stop in her love life when Tyler, her ex, broke up with her next day upon reaching office. Lola sees her Cowley giving presentation about Vaughn Wines, to which Lola was shocked. And it gets even worse when the boss chooses Audra to go to the Sydney with him and probably give her a promotion if she gets the deal. Upon him getting a call and leaving the meeting, she confront him that she told Audra about the Vaughn Wines and she deserved to go Sydney, not her, but he did not listen inside the meeting room. She reveals that she was tired of all the nonsense and selfishness his boss always threw at her, so she finally leaves the job for good. Lola has decided to open her own company called Salad Imports. She really needed a big account and needed Vaughn family to grow her firm. Bigger, Lola figures out that Vaughn Wines has an Airbnb cottage, so her plan is to live in there as a guest and somehow find a perfect moment to pitch her company to Hazel, even though her father thought it was far. Still motivates and support her with her idea. Right after, not so long after, we see Lola coming to Sydney at the farm of Vaughn wine owners. Upon arrival, she meets a man who offered to help her, but brutally falls off with a heavy baggage and leaves, along with taxi. While exploring and looking around the house, a man named Max finally walks in from the door and asks her if she was looking for a combination to the safe. While being sarcastic, he was willing to show her the cottage. Max tell her to do take selfies in cottage or do anything she likes, but do not bother Hazel Vaughn. One of their workers comes in the way and reveals about the man who previously left along with the cab. He worked on the farm, but he could not handle the stress. Right after, she sees the women called Hazel Vaughn and proceed to explain and pitch about her new company. Hazel was not impressed and told her that she wasted her flight. If the reason was this, while their worker left the job, Lola hears about it and asks them if she could work instead. After some hesitation, she finally gets the opportunity to work. Max was in charge to teach her all about protocols and work she had to do. Lola was about to be given grunt work, hard yak insurance before beginning fence mending work. He make her aware of the kangaroos too. Hearing this, she was excited to meet them, but he assures her that they will probably punch her flat on her back in the middle. The truck stops working. Max could not believe she was not carrying any hat or shoes for the land, so he gives his own hat to her. Max tells her to not get her hopes up about the contact, and we see her in the cottage where she meets 3 students. Suddenly they hear someone shouting and she reveals she used all the hot shower, and right after she uses her charger and short circuit the system. In the morning, her cottage mates tells her to sit with them, but little did she know they were pranking her. Suddenly Max arrives and asked her if she was ready. We can see him telling her the process of bending the metal wire. She had started working and sees a sheep and try to feed her food, but it was not something she was good at. Lola also failed to exclude the red-tagged sheeps from the other ones. Later, her eye catches Hazel and begins to praise her for her nice boots and ask if she wants her to import some bottles. But she was not entrusted. Later, after Max and her conversation ends, she walks out, where suddenly Max picks her up since there was a brown snake, and they have a silent moment after cleaning the toilet. She wakes up the next morning and goes, ready to work at work. She does something stupid and makes Hazel very angry. She did not have much choice and get ready to leave Sydney. She asked Max to go take her to the airport, and they proceed to go into his old truck. The truck once again starts to act weird and stops in the middle. Both proceed to walk.